Hi there. I'm going to do a first makeup tutorial today. I've never done one of these before, but I've had a lot of people comment on some of the ways that I've done my makeup in the past. So I just thought, I'm going to do my makeup, so I might as well just film it. Some of the products and things that I'm going to use in this tutorial I've probably had for quite a long time, so I can't honestly say whether all of it's still available. Some of it is quite new, but like I say, some of it I've just been using for quite a while. I don't wear makeup every single day because I spend a lot of the time in the gym, so there's very little point. I'm not one of these people who likes to wear a face full of makeup to train because I find it just clogs up my skin. So I'm just going to go through what I do. It might not be the right way, but it's just the way I do it. So here we go. So first of all, like I say, I've cleansed all my skin and everything this morning, moisturised. So I'm just going to make sure I just get all my hair out of the way first. So just pin back the wig. Get my fringe out of the way. So I always start with my eyes, but I like to put a little bit of a base on my eyes first, just to kind of prime the skin really more than anything else. So the first thing that I use is this product here. So this is, like I say, I've had this for ages. Back when I used to be an Avon rep myself. So it's an invisible light. It's like a illuminating makeup base product. I've used different brands of these sorts of primers. Basically, this has just got like some light reflecting things in it, just to make your skin sort of glow a little bit more. So if I show it you like that, it's it's just like a cream really. So I'm just going to pop a bit of that. Just a tiny little bit, just on my eye area, just before I put any of the eye makeup on. We'll just pop that on there. Probably can't really see any difference there, but there is, like I say, there is a little bit of a sheen to that. When you put it on my actual face afterwards, you'll see it probably better. Then I use a little bit of foundation. So the foundation that I use, I'm actually using a mixture of two different colours at the moment because it's not been that long since I got back off holiday. So my skin's a little bit darker than normal. So but they're both the same. So they're both a Clinique Even Better one. Now this has actually got an SPF 15 in it as well. Now the moisturiser I've used this morning has also got an SPF 20 in it, so it's going to protect your skin against the sun. Now I'm using, this is the colour that I use normally when I'm not tan, which is number 4 Cream Chamois. Shake it lower. But I'm mixing in a little bit of number 13 Amber, and like I say, that is exactly the same product. I used to use a sponge to put on foundation, but then I bought this brush and I found this great. So this is just like a, there we go, Sport FX brush. So it's just got a normal sort of blusher brush, if you like, on the end, and then a foundation brush on the other side. So I just dab on a little bit onto the brush itself just for this, just because I'm only using a little bit. It'll come out because I'm running a bit low. I need a tiny little bit for this because, like I say, I'm only just putting a little bit on my eyes. So, put a bit of that. And I'll put, you can see how much darker this one is. I use this for my makeup when I'm competing, so it does need to be really dark. So yeah, so I just put the two things on the brush like that, just together, and then I'll just dab it on a little bit just around my eye area. Like I said, it's just to provide a bit of a base just for my eye makeup, so it's not like it needs to be perfectly blended or anything. It's, to be honest, it's more than anything that when I put my foundation on, that it's going to blend in properly and I'm not going to get any sort of dodgy patches of skin where I've missed. Now I have got semi-permanent eyelashes and they are due to be infilled tomorrow, so please ignore that because they are looking a little bit threadbare, but that's pretty much that done. So that's all primed, ready to go. Then I use a little bit of this MAC Prep and Prime, and it is just a transparent pressed powder. So it looks completely white. You can see I've had this for a while. And I'm just going to use the other side of that brush just to sort of stop the foundation from being too damp, really, more than anything. So that's that. So onto the eyes. This is the bit that I spend the most of the time on, really, is my eyes. This is a new product, so this you should be able to get. This is a product by Smashbox. So it's an eye palette, and this one is a blaze. So it's got a number of different colours in there, and it gives you the names on the back of which correspond to the colours on the inside. So on the inside of this little palette, you can see we've got an array of beautiful colours. So I use a brush. Where I got this from, I haven't got a clue. About it for about 15 years. So whatever, it's just a standard brush. Now I'm going to use this colour first of all, just to sort of highlight underneath the eyebrow area. Now this, this eyeshadow palette, it goes a long way. I've used a lot of different eyeshadows in the past that you need to really like layer it, but this one is pretty good. So I'm just gonna go under here, just underneath my eyebrow, just with that lighter shade there. Don't need loads. Just to highlight underneath there. I will put a little bit of actual highlight on here later, so it's nothing major. I've got my eyebrows tattooed as well, but I do tend to go over with a little bit of pencil later on, but just so you know that. So the next stage that I do on my eyes is the actual lid itself. I'm going to use today, I've tried different things with this palette. So I'm not one of these people who does exactly the same makeup every single time I do my makeup. Depending on what outfit I'm wearing, what mood I'm in, some days I'll go really dark and moody, some days I'll go more smoky eyed, some days I'll just use really bright colours. So I just tend to go with the flow, so who knows what's going to turn out. But today I'm going to use sort of this really fiery colour here. Okay. And basically, what I'm going to do with this one is just use it in the lids, on the lids themselves. So it looks like that. So it is quite fiery. I'm just going to pop that all across the lid there. Concentrating mainly sort of on the inner bit here. And then sort of dragging it out towards the outside. And so you can see how well that goes on. It's like I say, it's really quite rich as a product. And then I just sort of take it up a little bit into the crease area there. Just so we're sort of ready to blend it into what I'm going to put up there a bit later. So sorry, I'm just going to check this with my own mirror because this is really weird doing this. Into a phone camera, it's weird. Yeah. So there we go. So that's the eyelids colour done. So I'm just using natural light today, just I'm sat literally in the windowsill. So that's that bit done. Next bit I'm going to do is sort of in the crease area really and blending up. So the next colour that I'm going to use is this beautiful shade of like, well, like a maroony red really. I absolutely love it. I didn't think it would suit me very much because of the pink in my hair. But whatever. So, so I'm going to use a little bit of that now, again, on the same brush. There you can see how sort of beautiful that colour is. And I'm just going to use that here. Starting on the, I always start on the outside and blend it in like this. So I put it on quite thick to start with. So you can see how well that's gone on, how thick that's gone on. Now, if I was doing makeup for the stage, then I'd leave it on really, really thick. But obviously I'm not. So basically, I'm just going to use my own little mirror for this as well. I'm just going to blend it so that I'm bringing it down into the corners of the eye there. And again, across that crease area. Just always just blending it gently. And this is the reason I do the eyes first. I don't know if you can see, but sometimes you drop little bits of eyeshadow on the cheek area here. Obviously, if you've done your foundation and then you put your eye makeup on, then you get little bits. It's not a good look. So just continuing to blend that there. Till it's like that. So that's that bit done. So now I've got this kind of like fiery sort of look going on. But what I want to do now is accentuate in the corners a little bit more with the darker shades. So again, same little palette. And I'm going to go for the darkest colour that there is in this palette here, which is this one. And again, I'm going to use the same trusty 15-year-old brush. Okay. And I'm just going to put that on right in the corner there. See that really dark there? Same on this side. And it's kind of like on an angle, so out. And I put it on, like I say, quite thick, just on that outer edge there. And then you can blend it in and across. So again, I'm just going to use my own little mirror here whilst I do this. So I'm just dragging that colour just across, just to blend it into what I've already done. There. And the same on the other side. If you're unsure, always start with a little bit and just add more, because it's easier that way. Once you put too much on, it gets a bit more difficult to get the blend right. So that's pretty much the outside of those, with those colours done. Now, sometimes what happens with this is that when you put some of the darker colours on the outside, you start losing the really vivid colour. So sometimes I go over a little bit again with the red again and just go back over a little bit. See that, how it's brought that colour back up again. This is probably because I use a 15-year-old brush and it's just caked full of old eyeshadow. But yeah, I just tend to go over it a little bit, just in the areas that I really want that red to stand out, and blend it a little bit again. Just because when I'm using colours like this, I want them to stand out. I want them to look vibrant. I want them to look beautiful. I don't want them to fade into the background. So that's that. Now, the next stage is taking this colour so that it comes underneath the eye. So I'm going to use the red. So again, I use this brush. Sometimes I'll use a little cotton bud. I'll just grab one. Like this, just a little just because it helps you to sort of get it on a little bit more precisely. But again, like I say, because I'm kind of like doing my foundation and that afterwards, anything that I spill, it doesn't really matter. So sometimes this is a case of slapping it on and then worrying about any fallout later. So I'm just going to use my little mirror here as well while I do this. And I'm just literally dabbing it with the edge of the brush. So this isn't eyeliner, this is still eyeshadow, okay? Just be careful you don't poke yourself in the eye, because then you end up with streaming eyes and that's not very good. Same on this side. There. So that's most of that. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of this on the cotton bud here, just to get any bits that I might have missed. With the brush, it just needs a little bit more precision. And like I say, you can do the whole thing with this if you want, but I tend to be a bit lazy, and because I've done this like this so many times, I just whack it on really. It's kind of like driving a car, and you have to explain it. You really have to think about what you're doing. Okay. That is that popped on there now. Okay, so that's most of that done. Now the next bit that I tend to do is just to accentuate my eyebrow area. Now this is an eyebrow pencil, it's a Rimmel one. I've had it for donkey's years, and it's in number 2 Hazel. It's quite a light shade. You can see that. I don't need a lot of eyebrow definition. I'm not into big, massive, huge power brows. I've had my eyebrows tattooed. I've been having them tattooed for years. But sometimes, obviously, when you put foundation over and things like that, then they just sort of fade into the background a little bit. So I just use a little bit of this, just to accentuate what's already there, really. So I'm not, you know, certainly not going nuts here. Okay, so that's sort of one pretty much done. And then the same on the other side. So it's more the tails of the eyebrow that I tend to concentrate on, just so that they're a little bit more defined. Okay, so that's all of that done. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is just to blend a little bit more here, just to make that work a little bit better for me. That's one. The same on that side there, just to blend it a little bit more, just because it's a little bit heavy. Great, right, okay. So the last thing I need to do really on my eyes now is just use a little bit of liner, a little bit of mascara and things. I tend to put the mascara and the liner on towards the end, but I'm just going to use a little bit of highlight here as well. Now this is, again, it's a brand new one. It's Dull Light, and they do it in 2 shades, I believe. This one is Like a Diamond, and it is a solid powder, and it's really iridescent. So if I just put a little bit of it on the back of my hand, you can see it's nice and shimmery. So it's great. I love it. Now, you don't need loads of this on your eye. Well, I don't think you do anyway. I'm going to use the little cotton bud. Just with a little bit of it here. Just in the corner. Here. Same on the other side. Just there. I might put a little bit under the eyebrows again later and just accentuate a little bit more, but I'll worry about all that when I do liners and things like that. So eyeliner, don't always use it. It depends how I'm feeling, and it depends sometimes how long ago it's been since I had my eyelashes done, because if they're quite fresh, don't always need it because they get that kind of like striking look from the lashes. But because they're looking a little bit on, like I said before, a little bit on the threadbare side at the moment, I do use a black eyeliner. Now I use a mixture of two eyeliners for top eyeliner, just like a standard coal black pencil. I think this is an Avon one, I can't tell, it's that worn away. But I use that first and then I follow it up with some liquid eyeliner. This is a Rimmel one, Glam Eyes, and that's just in Black Glamour. Again, I've had these for yonks. Everyone's different. Some people really struggle to apply liquid liner. I know it took me ages to like get used to it, and I think that's probably why I still use a bit of the kohl eyeliner as a bit of a backup, really, just because I struggle with getting it exactly perfect. And there's nothing worse than when you've done all your eye makeup and it's all looking great, and then you just go with a load of liquid eyeliner and it's like, oh great, now I've just ruined all my eye makeup, I've got to start all over again. Particularly if you've got lash extensions, because if you look at the base of the lashes, when you're trying to put eyeliner on, it can be difficult because the lashes kind of get in the way and then you end up with it fluttering all over your face. So it's not always the easiest, but I do it and do manage it. So it's just one of those things of like, practice makes perfect. And if you think you're going to make an ass of it, just don't bother with it. So I'm going to start with the kohl eyeliner first. And I get like, this is going to sound really weird, I get really quite wrinkly eyelids, and I've always had this even when I was young. So I do have to pull the skin quite taut to do it, because otherwise it sort of sits in the creases and it's weird. But anyway, I'm just going to sort of do that now. So I'm just going to pull my eyelid to the side. So just more than anything, just to pull the skin nice and taut, bring these eyelashes out of the way. And then I'm just going to line across here just with this kohl eyeliner. So I'm just trying to get it as close to that lash line as I can. Like that. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. With this side. Probably see how these lashes are already getting in the way. I don't tend to go too much in the corners here with the kohl eyeliner, just because it gets a bit much. So that's pretty much that. I don't always put eyeliner underneath. I'm not going to today. I'm only going to use a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes and that's enough. So otherwise sometimes it gets a bit in your face. So I'm going to use a little bit of this liquid eyeliner now, so wish me luck. Say a little prayer. So it's a very tiny little brush, but you can cause a lot of damage with this tiny little brush. So right, let's give it a go. I tend to rest my elbow on my knee to do this, just to give me a bit of extra stability. Get these lashes out of the way. Now you might ask why I'm putting liner on top of liner, and it's just because I think the black liquid eyeliner just provides that really striking look. Just give it a chance to dry a bit as well, because that's the other thing about liquid eyeliner, is if you start messing around before it's dry, you'll have it everywhere. Okay, just need a little bit more. Right, getting on these lashes. See what I mean? You have to be really, really careful, because you end up with it all over the lashes and then you end up with it all over your face. So that's that side. Sorry if I'm a bit sniffy. I've had a cold for about a month and it's driving me bonkers. Right, other side now. Right, so that's that done. Pretty minimal problems there today. So once I've done that, I leave my eyes alone. Then I don't put any mascara on or anything like that. I don't put any mascara on my top lashes anyway, because like I said before, I've had them I've had lash extensions, so there's no need for me to do that. But I do put a little bit on the bottom lashes, but I don't do it until after I finished everything. So back now to the face. So if you find that you do have any like eye makeup that has bled onto the cheek area here, that's when I would suggest using just a little bit of just a cotton pad, just to remove that and to make sure that you've got a nice sort of clear base here to put your foundation and things on. So I'm going to use the illuminating base again, and I'm just literally going to use my fingers to apply it. So make sure you've got clean fingers. I should go and wash my hands really, but I'm in the middle of a tutorial, so I can't be bothered. So anyway, I'm going to use about that much. So it's quite a bit. And I'm going to concentrate it mainly sort of on the cheek area here, because this is where you're going to probably put like your highlight and things. Acts as a good bit of moisturiser to the skin as well. Nice base. Just for that foundation to go on. Again, you can see that sort of iridescence in it now. So anywhere you're going to put highlight and things after, you really want to sort of concentrate that on. You don't have to rub it in, because you kind of want it to sit there a little bit, just so that it shines through the foundation. Okay, so that's that done. Trusty foundation brush. Again, I'm going to mix these two shades together, so I use a lot more now, because obviously this is the rest of my face. So I'm using my Clinique Even Better in the cream chamois. About that much. Again, less is more. Just add it if you need it. You know, you don't need to keep putting loads. And then just a little blob in the middle there of that one. And then I just sort of mix it on my face. So I dab it on like this first. So see how you've got that mixture of the two colours there? So this is a real good way of like making your makeup work for you no matter what. Doesn't matter whether you're on holiday or coming back from holiday, or you've had a spray tan or whatever, our skin colour doesn't tend to stay the same all year round. And particularly for like myself, who does competitions, photo shoots, that sort of thing. I'm getting very intense spray tans and things, so it's not a case of just, oh, a little tiny shade darker. We're talking like practically changing race. So that's why I tend to use one light foundation and one dark and just mix them, because otherwise I'd have to have like 20 shades of makeup, which if you're an MUA it's fine, but if you're not, it's a lot of money, you know. I don't buy cheap foundation. I certainly wouldn't want to have 20 different shades of it. So I tend to just drag it down my neck a little bit just to blend it in, so that it's all on there. And I do take it across the lip area as well, and up towards the eye. Yeah. So you get a nice clean line there. So I take my foundation as close to the hairline as I can without trying to get it in my hair, which was worse when I was mega blonde, because obviously it just looked orange and blonde hair. So that's pretty much blended in there now. So that's my base done. So it is quite shiny at the moment. Some people like it to be more dewy, and then other people prefer a bit more of a matte look. I like it somewhere sort of in between. I don't want to look dry as a board, but I don't want to look like I'm greasy. So I use, again, this Prep and Prime with the other end of the brush. And I don't go nuts, but I do just kind of just do a light covering. This brush is really soft, so it doesn't go on dead heavy, but it does just take some of that shine away. Like that. Okay, so that's most of the base done. Now what I've been using lately is a contour palette. Now I am no way near a contour queen, but this is quite basic. So it's a Smashbox one again, and again on the back it tells you how the colours correspond. So you've got a contour, a bronze and a highlight. Now I only really use the contour and the bronze. I don't use the highlight because I use the dull light that I used before. Now with this particular palette came with a little contour brush, so it's like an angled little brush. Now, like I say, I'm not a contour queen, but I do use a little bit of it, and you know, it's just accentuating shadows and things more than anything else. So I'm going to use the, so I've got this much here on the brush, and I just tend to sort of suck my cheeks in so I can see where my natural shadow would be, and I'm just going to take that there, like that. See how it's naturally in that line, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There, and then just down the side of the nose here and here. Now, just going to put a little bit more there, because the thing with contouring is it's all about the blending. So whilst I said before less is more, that is true, but if you haven't got enough on there to start with, you can't blend it. So I'm just going to blend this up a little bit, so I'm taking it up and out. Same on this side here. Just blend in there. And you've got the bronze in the middle there. Now, I don't think this bronze is very bronzy, but you know, whatever. And that goes just above where you've contoured. on this side, just here, and again, blending that. Just so it goes up and out like that. So I then follow with my Doll Light highlight, and I'm going to use the soft little brush that I've got here for that. I'm just going to dab it in like this, and I'm just going to put it just on the cheekbone area here. And just to the temple, so it's just coming sort of up and round. Okay, a little bit down the front of the nose, middle of the chin. Okay, so that's on there now. Right, so that is most of the work done. Now I've got some of this setting spray here, which again I've had from Avon for years. It's just a makeup setting spray. It's like hairspray for your face. Before I put any lippy or anything like that on, I like to sort of set the base at this point here. So you know, just to make sure that it's all the powder's going to stay where it is. So you spray it about this distance away from the face, like so, and just sort of let it dry really. And it does work. It really does hold on, because sometimes like I find like I'll get makeup that just sort of bleeds across the face, but it really does help to keep it on. So once I've done that, I use my mascara just for my bottom lashes, and then I finish off with a little bit of lippy. This mascara is a Rimmel Scandalise Extreme. I think it's just in a black, standard black. I don't tend to buy any other colours of mascara, to be honest with you, apart from just black. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't use a lot of mascara because of my eyelash extension, so I'm only using this for the bottom lashes. So I'm not really overly fussy about what type of mascara that I use. It's usually whatever's knocking around. And like I say, I'm just literally doing the bottom lashes here. So nothing major. That's one side. Just another coat there. Okay, so nothing OTT. I just think particularly when I've got my eyelash extensions fresh, it just helps to balance the eye a little bit, just to have that mascara on the bottom. So there we go. So that's all of that done. Now sometimes I decide just to put a little bit of extra highlight just here. So this is the Doll Light again. Just using my finger just to add that little extra bit of sheen there. Sometimes a little bit more in the corner here. Just to really sort of open up those eyes. So last thing, lipstick. This is a brand new one as well, but I've been using this colour for years and years and years. This is my standard go-to. And I have got hundreds of different lipstick shades, and I use different colours for different things depending on my eye makeup and things like that. But this, like I say, is my go-to lippy. It's a Rimmel one, it's a lasting finish one, and it's in Asia 077. It's a sort of pinky shade, very nondescript. It's nothing exciting. It's just a lippy. So I'm just going to put that on now. Okay, so that's that. If I'm using a darker shade of colour on my lips, then I will often use a liner. But for this shade, it's just not necessary. Teeth. Good tip for your teeth. If you're getting lippy on your teeth, once you put your lippy on, suck your finger. See all that extra that's on my finger there? That would have ended up on my teeth. So that's always a good tip. So make sure there's nothing else there, because that's not a good look. So that's my makeup done. So get my hair back to normal. And that's me done. So I don't know whether that's been useful to anybody or what, but anyway, like I say, I've had a few people asking me about makeup, so that's what I do. Like I say, I use various different eye makeup techniques and various different colours and things on my face, and I'm always trying different things. But like I say, that particular eye palette I am loving at the moment, because as you can see, the colours there are to die for. So really, really nice, really striking. So yeah, thanks very much for watching.